Yo, West Side, West Side, West Side, what's the deal? All right, so we back earlier than expected, you know what I'm saying? But that's great. That's good. You know what I mean? That's all good. And today is a powerful day. Today is April 13th, 2025. I ain't asking, I'm telling you that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just reminding myself. But as I come to y'all, you know what I'm saying, for me to you, much gratitude. You know what I'm saying? Today is a great day. It's Sunday out here on the west side, California, you know what I'm saying? And man, I have a deep for me it's deep, you know what I mean, for whoever this resonate with. Hey man, much gratitude, much respect to you. But I find that, this channel message come through. Today today is a open day, for my psychics, mediums, and my people that's tapping in to the energy. It's a great day to channel and really, get into that energy, you know what I'm saying, the communication and get into the field of energy and how you want to open up the space and explore, right? So, I have a channel message from Willie Hutch, you know what I'm saying? So I want to say shout out to Willie Hutch because this channel is sponsored by Willie Hutch, you know what I'm saying? And man, me and Willie Hutch have shared dialogue in many different spaces and places, regarding my spiritual journey. And I find that today is such a significant day as I was guided to as I was guided to tune in to Willie Hutch and listen to the song "I Choose You." You know what I'm saying? So today's title is inspired, you know what I'm saying, by Willie Hutch, and the fact that today's title is about choosing yourself. You know what I'm saying? So choose you today, 444. You know what I'm saying? And that is what you'll see in the title is that, choose you. You know what I'm saying? So the purpose of choosing yourself, recognizing yourself, knowing thyself, and realizing that you have a choice to choose yourself. You know what I'm saying? And being in your free will. And so I want to say I think that's what that's what a lot of today is about. Regarding the theme and the energy of today and what's let's say being provided in the elements of fire, earth, air, water, akasha, all of that jazz. So as this song, and I listen to Willie Hutch often. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm always listening to Willie Hutch. So it ain't like I ain't, uh, in tune with who he is. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, between many different spaces and places, Willie Hutch has played a great part with me and for me on my journey. And I want to thank Willie Hutch, for that, a great soul, great spirit, you know what I'm saying? Great individual. And he inspired so many, even myself as a musician, but just as I guess as a student, you know what I mean? As I look into his discography and what he did, so foundation, he he inspired a lot, you know what I'm saying? Whether it been, themes and soundtracks and movies, whether it be, niggas sampling them, in different genres and whatnot. But essentially, he played a big part in a lot of, major stars being stars. So, the Jackson Fives, Michael Jackson himself, you know what I'm saying, and many other individuals. But essentially, he was a multi-dimensional artist, might I say. You know what I'm saying? He was a multi-dimensional musician. He was a producer. He was more than just he was more than what I guess Hollywood portrayed him to be at the time. And I say that because at that time, Hollywood only you know showed maybe a split image, you know what I'm saying, of who, was really doing who was really doing what they was doing at the time as far as music. You know what I mean? You didn't really get to see, you know what I'm saying? Well, let me reverse that. Maybe you did because on a non-internet social media level, you have more access to the artists, you know what I'm saying, or to the talent, we'll just say. And so to somebody, back in the day, they'll probably be able to let me know more than what I know right now. But within the song of I Choose You, this is a message from my higher self, from your higher self. You know what I'm saying? A message from, one's higher awareness, and to say that, choose yourself. You know what I'm saying? Know that you are worthy and know that you are worthy and know that you are available to choose yourself. Meaning that let's say you don't need permission from nobody or nothing else as far as to choose yourself and do what you want to do and be yourself. You know what I'm saying? And essentially, this is where you give yourself access. You open up the doorway. You know what I'm saying, you open up your heart space the way that you know how, the way that you know how to love and be, right? And essentially, this is what a lot of that energy is speaking to. So as I was listening to this music and it was just, coming through, I was just like, man, this is kind of interesting, regarding like the vibration, you know what I'm saying? And then I also study the Mayan calendar and the galactic signature. And so as I look deeper into the day, today is a yellow resonant, if I'm not mistaken, it's yellow resonant sun. And so yeah, shout out to that. It's a yellow resonant sun, which you have the seven energy. Seven is the vibration of the day or the tone of the day. So that's where you got a lot of energy surrounding the crown chakra and higher awareness, higher knowledge, wisdom, stuff like that that's available, and that's kind of rather auspicious and in the support of today. You get what I'm saying? And so how you were able to access that and tap into that is very much more, like I say, auspicious. You know what I'm saying? It's very potential for one to do that based on the channel and the energy of where you are resonating, right? And so with that being, I looked into today, and today is a portal. So it is a portal of activation where energy is activating and different energy is activating. I guess more on a cellular level, on the DNA, where we are called to upgrade in different areas for different folks, right? And so wherever you are at in your path, you know what I'm saying, this is where you are called to choose you. You are being given the opportunity to choose you and step forward in your alignment, wherever that may be, whatever that may be, right? And hold on, let me get into this. So as we are in the yellow resonant, as we are in the yellow resonant sun of today, Mr. Willie Hutch, he's a yellow resident human. You know what I'm saying? So I find that, to be interesting because within the galactic signature, you have different glyphs that make up the oneness, or let's say the one archetype that's governing the whole day. You know what I'm saying? Or the cycle itself. And so within this day of the yellow resident sun, the yellow human, which would be you or the individual, right, is is the higher self or the guide of today, which where it comes down to your inner, yeah, your inner sun, your inner light, your inner self. You know what I'm saying? This is where you are being given that opportunity to activate. There we go. So you're being given that opportunity to activate from within, as without the reality and the life that you ought to live or you want to live. You able to open up that space and step into that timeline or open up that pathway or doorway to, segue yourself into that reality. And I find today to be so fucking powerful in the fact that it's a galactic activation portal, and Willie Hutch himself is born as a yellow resonant human. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, he's a yellow resonant human, and he is a galactic activation portal on his day. So on his day of birth, he was a galactic activation portal in which he serves as, as far as on a galactic level, he serves as a portal of activation of where you activate through resonance. You know what I'm saying? So what you resonate with and how you resonate will determine how you activate and upgrade based on, let's say, the DNA, the cellular activation, the sun, the consciousness, right? The light, right? And so this is where, you get to tap into that solar energy, that soul. And I'm talking about your energy, your inner self. You know what I'm saying? And understanding the soul within you and the spirit within you, right? This is where one taps into that realization. You know what I'm saying? You get into that self-realization, that self-recognition. That's the main thing that I'm pretty much getting at when it comes to choosing you. You know what I'm saying? So this is where you are not to forget, you know what I'm saying, if you've been, on your path or whatever, and you've been straddling the fence of even getting on a path, even because it's a lot of people doing that. This is the time to not do that. This is the time where, let's say, when it comes to the the astrology of things between all the stars, planets, sun, and the moon. You know what I'm saying? Everything is favored in your favor, and how you resonate, and how you operate, and how you vibrate, and how you choose to, you know what I mean, arrive and show up in the timeline that you choose. You know what I'm saying? So definitely, be open to choose you. You know what I'm saying? For real, for real. Don't shut yourself out. You know what I'm saying? For real. But also when it comes to choosing you, it could also be circumstantially or opportune, more so, where you don't want to shut out any opportunities, or you don't want to shut out any you know, any opening of the ways where it could be transformative, or it could be, destined or some way. You know what I'm saying? So you definitely want to be open in where or in areas needed, just so you can make the right choices and do the right things for your greatest good. And so let me get deeper into this. Willie Hutch is the guide of the day in the solar central point of the sun, activating as a portal of inspiration and transformation and upgrade cellularly through the resonance of today. And so Willie Hutch was born on December 6th, 1944, and he is the yellow resonant human. And man, that I broke down the numerology of that, and within the numbers of 12/6/1944, you get 369, and in 369 you got 18, which is 9, of course, right? And so I broke down yellow in the letters, and it's 6 because you have 3 and 3, which is yellow in the low, and then it's 33 6, right? So 6 is the sun Tiferet in the tree of life. 6 can be associated with yellow as a vibration of shade or hues. And while Willie Hutch in a letter form is 6 and 5, which is 11, which we understand is a portal, or which is the pillars, right? So essentially, he serves just like he still serves as that energy, but let's say in his manifestation of what he came to do and how he showed up in the world, he he served as a great one. You know what I'm saying? For real, for real. Shout out to the dove in the sky on everything. I see the birds flying. But you know what I'm saying? He served as a great one. You know what I'm saying? Because if you really think about it, his music is everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't heard his music and you didn't know who he was. You didn't heard people sampling his music, and you probably like the music that's sampled and didn't realize that was Willie Hutch. You know what I'm saying? Or you didn't heard music from like the Jackson Fives or from what Michael Jackson was doing and won't even know that. Let's say Willie Hutch wrote that or he produced that, and it's like, damn, okay, so this is where you get to I guess you would say you peel back the layers of, sound, you know what I'm saying? Sound and entertainment and all the shit like that, to really get to understand artistry and the origin of who's who and what's what. But not only that, you get to respect that based on what a person did. And let's say the foundation they laid, it was able to leave as an imprint and impact. And it makes you understand the energy or respect the energy more, because it's like, well, shit, how I look at it, especially in that time, between 50s, 60s, 70s, and so forth and so on, to do all of what a lot of them niggas did musically, but we'll just say it even like on a dream wise of fuck Jim Crow, I'm gonna do what I wanna do. Or fuck this and fuck that, I'm gonna be a fucking rock star. You know what I'm saying? Like, to have those type of dreams, aspirations, and visions at that time probably was much more challenging than it is now. Where you got niggas who think, oh, you got to trap to do this. I gotta go serve out on the block and go hustle and go invest studio time and go do what I really want to do. You know what I'm saying? So it was a whole different dynamic of approach from then to now. Where I see it's like, man, it's so different. It's just so different. You know what I mean? It's so different. But William McKinley Hutchinson, aka Willie Hutch, you know what I mean? And he is one of them resident beings, as I would like to call, because I'm a resident being myself, and yeah, I'm a resident being myself. I'm a red resident Skywalker, and my man's, he's a yellow resident human, and so with that resident energy, we connect within that space of the 7, or within the tone of 7, we all are able to vibrate, in the same resonance, or depending on where you resonate, that's how you're able to connect with the space, with the earth, with the world, right? With the people, places, and things. You did. And so also I would like to say, in the harmonic modulation, you know what I'm saying? 7 is the tone. So I think I said that already, but I ain't about to go there. So 7 key notes in music is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, which corresponds with the chakras in the body, each resonating at their own note or tonality. And so today is the yellow resonant sun, and in the higher goddess today, it's the yellow human of the yellow sun that's activating the portal today, and which is Willie Hutch, the Mac himself. So Willie Hutch transitioned September 19th, 2005. And so I thought that was significant too, just based on like, I guess, the numericals and the synchronic energy or the synchronic order between the numbers, and even the numbers being 9/19/2005, which is 9, 10, and 7, which is 26, which is 8. And so 8, understand that. How I look at it, 8 is the soul star chakra or the seat of the soul or one's consciousness. And Willie Hutch, let's say, made the ascension through his music, being inspiring and phenomenal of sound, resonating with the culture and his audience. Based on resonance, Willie Hutch knew how to speak the language of the day and night, or let's say light language, you know what I'm saying? But speaking the language of the people in the everyday struggle, trying to live life among the systemic oppression and Hollywood entertainment, keeping up with the Joneses, he had a sound that broke people free of their troubles or worries in life, even if it was just for the few minutes of a song or performance. Willie Hutch, through his resonance, gave or brought inspiration to life itself among many life paths. He spoke to all from a place of peace, truth, freedom, justice, love, and respect, being a voice for the unspoken or voiceless. With Willie Hutch's inspiration came many groups and singers after him. Working with him, he produced "I'll Be There" for Jackson 5. His music has movies and even other genres of R&B and rap. And so all of this connecting to today, like I said, the soul star activation and the yellow resonance of one's will, claiming the throne of resonance. So being, or let's say recognizing that peace, you know what I'm saying? And I would even like to say, recognizing that peace, recognizing where, you are resonating at your most highest self. You know what I'm saying? And Willie Hutch is the symbol of today, or the symbol of the day, or hidden in the symbolism of today. Whereas you should want to choose you, or whatever Willie Hutch song that resonate with you, because we talking about resonance. So whatever, and it ain't gotta be Willie Hutch. I'm gonna just say it like that. It don't gotta be Willie Hutch for you. You could have whatever song, playlist, jukebox, whatever you got. You know what I'm saying? It's on. But essentially, this is how the spirit spoke to me today, and the message came through. And I want to say that Willie Hutch is the symbol of the day, or hidden in the symbolism of today, with the vibration of today being sounded through Willie Hutch. The purpose of choosing you is empowering self through inspiring life, or life's inspiration, self-realization, and recognition, and that you have the abundance and infinite potential of options in choosing yourself. Choosing yourself is what makes you chosen for whatever destiny you designate for your own journey or path. Respect the power of choice to choose a better version of yourself. And this is where we talk about the upgrades and activations. You know what I'm saying? And this is, as vast as we can take it, as quantum as we can make it, as far as making it something beyond and so unseemly, we can all keep it internally and true, to the mind, body, soul, spirit, and everything being connected, rather than seeing it so far outside of oneself. And I say that to say, being free to choose, relinquishing ideas, thoughts, people, places, actions that take you away from you, that bind you to a particular mode of reality. And this is where you got to recognize your power and create your own reality. Realize how you already create your own reality through what you choose to. What the fuck I write? Damn. Oh yeah. Do what you choose to resonate. Okay. So realize how you already create your own reality through what you choose to resonate with, and don't tolerate pessimism or lower energies or shit that's just not yours. Because that's when, you're then sinking below. You know what I'm saying? And you don't want to sink below beneath, your own feet. You know what I'm saying? Then that's when you upside down, nigga. You feel me? You don't want to be like that, let's say unwillingly. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Some people, they like to be that way. They like to, say, hey man, people, it's a different world. People like a lot of different shit these days. You know what I'm saying? But that ain't my point. My point is choose yourself and recognize where the opportunity, the options, and the space is open for you to do that. You know what I'm saying? Recognize where the doors is open for you to walk through for you. Don't like some people say, rejection is your protection. Some people all like to say, what else they say said go. They said don't go where you're tolerated, go where you're invited, or where you're accepted. You know what I'm saying? But I say this to say find that place within yourself. You know what I'm saying? Before you do anything in the world or expect anything in the world or look for it anywhere beyond you, find that in yourself because today is where, let's say, the space, the nature, the earth, everything, let's say, is in alignment or harmony for you to do that, for you to activate that greatest part of yourself or that central point of yourself, the sun, that soul, that soul, you know what I'm saying? That soul power. And that's where you know what I'm saying, you come alive. And so, man, I find with Willie Hutch, you know what I'm saying, put it on my mind, you know what I'm saying, with the song I Choose You, and I'm sure we are all familiar with that song. It's just it's like what the fuck the word is, it don't get no greater than that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it don't get no greater than that when it comes down to, let's say, the theme of the day. You know what I'm saying? How you should operate and get into the flow. Because that's really what it is. That's what we talk about. And everybody got their own tune, their own vibration, their own song, their own dance that they do and will get them going. But I say that, when it comes to the message and to the wisdom of the day, and how one should operate, be free in the choices that you are able to make within yourself. And it even says that in the mantras, you know what I'm saying, of or the affirmations in the galactic signature today. It speaks on, inspiring life, free will, and resonating and, attunement and all of these things like that. And so when you understand how to empower yourself, you know, not just by, let's say, these words or just by saying these things, but with a better action in mind and body, then you can align, better with the soul and spirit that is doing what it's doing because it's all you, right? So essentially, understanding your energy and understanding how your energy is communicating to you in the mind, intellectually, right? And then that's where you get to break down your intellect and understand your intuition and your true nature of spirit that's, leading you and guiding you and trying to show you or bring you closer, saying, to oneself. And this is where, you gotta have that recognition. You gotta have, hey man, you gotta be, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you gotta be sharp, for real. But we'll just say like this, you gotta be like the Mac, you gotta be like Willie Hutch, you know what I'm saying? You gotta be well rounded, shall I say, because when you're able to be well rounded, you can have an easy adaptability, you know what I'm saying? You could resonate, on any frequency, on any level, any vibration, and not necessarily have to tolerate it, but you'll know how to do what you do within that space. You know what I'm saying? You know how to add your own sound, your own ingredients, your own touch to the shit, and now it's great. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, for me, to me and for me, it's powerful. You know what I'm saying? I find maybe because I'm a resonant being myself, so I feel like, as a resonant being, being in a vibration of 7, right? I find, shit, it's like a family to me, like a tribe. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that energy is more, it's celebratory. It's very high. It's high vibrational, high frequency, but I feel it's more complimentary. And so, how you compliment yourself today, for one, would be through choosing you. You know what I'm saying? So choosing you today would be a better compliment than, let's say, just accepting with whatever. You know what I'm saying? Or allowing whatever to take place, aside of you, and just, let's say, try to find blame or feelings for that. You know what I'm saying? Nah, don't do that. This is a great day to be, I would say a great day to be firm in your peace. You know what I'm saying? But rather firm in your truth of peace where you are aware, right? And you could, let's say, be in all the love and freedom that it is, right? Because how you choose to be and how you choose to be is a power in itself. You know what I'm saying? And I think that too many times people can overlook that variable. You know what I'm saying? The variable that you do have a choice. You do have free will. You know what I'm saying? And today is a day that to me for it's screaming that, to be free, to break through and release from all the bullshit that is binding you or holding you back from being your greatest self or reaching your greatest potential. And while your greatest potential is waiting for you to kind of assume position and get into that, nigga, this, let's say today is no greater day. So for whatever it is, for whoever it is that is listening to this or who will listen to this, you know what I'm saying? Choose you. And 444, I find that to be significant based on today. And you got 4 is April, the fourth month, and then you got 13 is 4, and then I did the math. I said, shit, I said 9 plus 4 is 13, and so I said it's a bunch of fours. You know what I'm saying? So I said 444. Essentially, the four is what's guiding today. You know what I'm saying? As far as in the sun, but essentially, that 444 energy I find is very, very, very um significant. That's the word I want to say. It's significant based on one being able to open up the doorway or open up that pathway, and we can even say about the heart space. You know what I'm saying? And the four directions. You know what I mean? So we could say the heart space, the four directions, the elements, 444. Being able to connect and raise. Raise awareness, should I say, raise awareness in all of these different capacities and energies to resonate at a harmony or a frequency that is best or at its greatest for yourself. So, it's today is lit. You know what I'm saying? Today is a good day, and I'm glad that the message came through and I was able to bring this message forth just based on the energy or me resonating in the space that I was in, as I awakened today. Because I was like, man, like I was already turned, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie, I was already having a good ass day. And then the message came through like, choose you. And I'm like, all right, bet. You know what I mean? So thank you to my higher self. I want to say that. Thank you to my higher self because, I'm definitely choosing me. So I want you to do the same. Just choose yourself. You know what I'm saying? And however that look for you, you know what I'm saying? However that look for you, you know what I mean? Don't be ashamed. You know what I'm saying? Don't be ashamed. But my whole thing is don't hesitate. You know what I'm saying? If you feeling funny today, if you feeling like or if you feeling if I ain't feeling it, choose you. You know what I'm saying? Or if you feeling lucky today, you feeling fortunate, you feeling like hey man, big bank take little bank, choose you. You know what I'm saying? Because essentially, all is in your favor. You know what I'm saying? So even when with myself, I would say, uh, all in favor say I. You know what I'm saying? And who else am I speaking to? I be speaking to myself. But essentially, stepping in to full alignment, with yourself and your higher self, and resonating with that, connected with that energy, and knowing what that feels like, knowing what that is like. And I would say that that is at the seat of your consciousness. You know what I'm saying? The seat of your soul, being able to operate from your higher self and, free your mind so you can be more of your spirit and soul and your star self. You know what I'm saying? Your galactic being. You know what I'm saying? And how you reach that is definitely through your awareness and through your free will and your choices of you opening up your heart space. You know what I mean? So definitely all is connected. Everything is connected. Don't you forget it. You know what I'm saying? And how can I say this, man? How can I conclude this message? Anymore? I ain't got no more notes. But I'll say, I'm not even done speaking. So it's like I ain't even got to conclude the message. But I would say choosing you is so powerful for the fact that people go through so much shit. People, I'm throwing myself in there. You know what I'm saying? But people go through so much shit when they come down to like the responsibilities of choices. You know, the shit that we bear on ourselves, so then we say we agree to, or we then give like we make it a thing to say, okay, I do or I don't, or I am or I'm not. You know what I'm saying? It don't even be worth it. You know what I mean? So this is where we gotta recognize our value. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just saying as an individual, you gotta recognize your value to know the choices you make is worth your time. Respect your mind, respect your time because time is very valuable. And if what your time is worth, you know what I'm saying? You ain't just gonna spend it doing no anything with no anybody, you know what I mean? And that's where you're gonna really be more empowered in choosing you. And it ain't gonna be no hesitance, It ain't gonna be tucking the tail. It ain't gonna be no excuses. It ain't gonna be nothing to try to, let's say, get in your way at that point of, let's say, the matrix and all that shit like that, because you understand, more firm who you are and what you are doing and how you are doing and why. So definitely, this go back to more so your purpose, you know what I'm saying, and what you're doing, you know what I mean? Because ultimately, as an individual, we can even say just for individual purposes, choosing a better version of yourself, it is available. You know what I'm saying? That's really the main thing, is choosing a better version of yourself. And you ain't got to be down bad. You ain't got to be doing bad, and you ain't got to even be beating yourself up to then convince yourself that you ain't enough or you ain't resonating where you need to be, right? But essentially reaching a higher height. You know what I'm saying? How do you get there, or what is it that'll get you there? How will you activate? How will you upgrade? What will upload you or put you in that position or that space or place that would then, let's say, allow you to embody that greater essence that you so are, right? And I find that mainly the focus, that's what it is. Because a lot of one's focus can be drifted and shifted into many different places and spaces where it ain't needed. But like that. You know what I'm saying? Like how the planes fly. But it's all good. They resonating with the live. So there ain't no pressure. But how many people can be shifted and drifted in their focus to different things outside of them, let's say lights and colors and shit, you know what I'm saying? That ain't necessarily of their own makeup. You know what I'm saying? So it's nothing of their own inspiration and influence, but yet they channeling it, you know what I'm saying? They in tune with it, you know what I'm saying? They taking others' inspiration and following behind that, you know what I mean? So when you realize yourself, getting caught up in that, or being, let's say, consumed by those sort of ways, this is where you got to catch yourself. You got to be able to, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, catch yourself and be able to release, you know what I mean, from the outside material things that really don't serve you, or that are not of you, because you ain't really none of this shit. So understanding your energy and respecting more your energy enough to respect your mind and body as it is, you know what I'm saying, and be more present. Being more present and being more aware, being present in your awareness, and not being absent-minded. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to say that word. There's another word I was gonna say, but being absent-minded. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be absent-minded out here and just losing. You know what I'm saying? And losing your mind or losing your awareness and your consciousness just for the sake of others or the sake of jobs, places, whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to forsake your power and the fact that you are able to choose yourself and you're able to do what the fuck you want to do because you are who you are. So my thing is with that is to be free. You know what I'm saying? And even within that is to shit. In being free is to find peace, but I find it's vice versa. When you find peace, you can find freedom, or you are free in some way. You know what I mean? But oftentimes, don't be afraid to be free. That's what I want to say. Don't be afraid to be at peace. And I say this to my young men like myself, because shit, a lot of niggas be faking it, and then a lot of motherfuckers be making it look like it's weird, or you ain't a man because you at peace with yourself, or you are operating from a higher vibration and you more spiritual, or you on a spiritual path, or whatever the fuck it is. You know what I'm saying? Don't let none of that shit get in your way. Choose you. You know what I'm saying? For real, for real. Because when it comes down to it, when you choose you, that's when you are a chosen one, or whatever they consider a chosen one. You know what I'm saying? So, and I don't want to say they like that, but when it comes down to, the study of a chosen one in the biblical text and all of that shit like that, in a more conscious or occult aspect, only way to be chosen is to have choose yourself, or to be chosen yourself, right? So when you know yourself, then you understand the choices and things that you know what I'm saying, that you are, let's say, operating in, or giving yourself in a sense of, let's say, activity, experience, reality, right? And this is where you get to choose your experience. You get to choose how you want to, view the world, if we could say it like that. But essentially, this all go back to your free will, and this all go back to your inspiration of life and how you resonate in life. Where you resonating at? What are you resonating with? You know what I mean? And this all deals with you as an individual. So this really don't. I mean, of course, the world. You know what I'm saying? And the world can tell you a lot, but that inner world will let you know exactly where you at. You know what I'm saying? For sure. It'll let you know exactly where you at, especially when you recognize where you at on the inner world and then see like, damn, okay, the outer world, we in harmony. You know what I'm saying? I see where we, everything is within. You know what I'm saying? Everything is in sync, right? But then if it's out of sync, whereas the outer world is not mirroring or not reflecting back to you the inner world, then shit, something wrong. You know what I'm saying? So and I'm not to say that it's a bad thing, but it's just let's say there's a is that is the right word? I don't know all these fucking words, but basically there's a mishaps right there. You know what I'm saying? That's not right. So if your outer world is not reflecting, if your inner world is not reflecting in your outer world, then you got some work to do, which everybody do. You know what I'm saying? In some way. So essentially, with the title and theme and the message today being choose you, don't be afraid to choose you. You know what I'm saying? Don't be afraid to recognize that power and be power in that, be empowered in that, because I say this in all ways. You know what I'm saying? So many people are caught up behind what they folks do, what they friends do, what the celebrities do, and yet they giving attention and they hold inspiration and influence the whole time to shit that don't matter what they got going on. Meanwhile, they still got, let's say they still got money ain't spent. They still got time and shit ain't invested. We'll say it like that. Where your abundance of options and possibilities that you could be choosing, you spend it and you wasting it on fuck shit. You know what I'm saying? And this is where you hear people complain. You know what I'm saying? And I don't like that shit. I'm just being real. I don't dig it. Because essentially, when they come to the spirit and the soul aspect of everything, you have, and when you notice, when you are conscious, when you are aware, when you are operating spiritually, when you are your higher self, you a God, you a goddess, you know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be operating from a certain level of authority that that grants you that access. But it's not in a sense of permission, as in you have to ask for, or you have to ask someone or whatever other than yourself. You know what I'm saying? You must permit yourself by what we'll say the universal law that you operate in. This ain't even got nothing to do with your words, so to speak. I mean, it do, but it don't. You know what I'm saying? This is more so about your action of being and how you carry yourself, or rather, how you resonate, how you vibrate, how you connected with yourself, with the earth, with the planet, stars, all other shit, but recognizing it interplanetarily or interplanetary as you are interplanetary being. So, like I say, man, choose you and be proud of you. You know what I'm saying? Because that's yeah, you know what I mean. Why not? But yeah, man, I don't wanna go too far on a tangent, but it's just like it's power in this shit. It's power in choosing you, and when you can when you can find that power in whatever choice that is, that allows you to, you know what I'm saying, get into that mode of self and raise awareness or raise up in some way, then that's when you know what I'm saying. So my whole thing is don't run from that. Don't run from that. Don't be hesitant with that, and don't ignore that, even though that sound all the same. I'm saying don't ignore that in the sense of second guess, and everybody do this, you know what I'm saying? But I'm talking from a place of, intuition, God, consciousness, whereas when your higher self is giving you some wisdom, a message, or anything, right? And you then get to second guess yourself, as in, is it me or any of this shit or anything? And I'm just using that as an example, but anything when it comes down to you and you know what I mean? From an intuitive point, you gotta get to a point of resonance where you can then be receptive and understand and know thyself. And I find that that's the main thing. You know what I mean? So this for real, cause shit, if you don't know yourself, you definitely can't choose yourself, or you wouldn't have that opportunity or option, or you wouldn't even know it's available. So it wouldn't matter. You know what I'm saying? But this is to, those with the ears that can hear and the eyes to see, and the mouths that speak. That's the bar that I added on to that. You know what I'm saying? For real. Because I feel that you know, shit. I feel that shit. Nigga, with the medulla oblongata, you know what I'm saying? Those that speak wisdom, those are the mouths that speak. Even though you see people speaking, even though you see people's mouths moving, they ain't saying shit. You know what I'm saying? So be able to detect light, detect wisdom, and also detect bullshit. You know what I'm saying? That's how you'll be able to distinguish and extinguish if you have to. You feel what I'm saying? But essentially, that's how you'll be able to know for oneself. You feel what I'm saying? And this is where even your intuition and your intuitive nature, is connecting and communicating with you in the most subtle of ways. But you even got to be so uh, willing and trusting and self to be able to choose and know thyself and be aware. And so that's where, what I mean, I find today is just such a day where, hey, cherish it and be merry, nigga, because today is definitely a great day of activation. And so I don't want to just, keep running, what I'm saying, around the same shit, but choose you, man. You know what I'm saying? Wherever you at, wherever you are, choose you. For real.